Let's quickly, though, wrap up with David Hume, something we can't avoid, something you've mentioned, which is the infamous footnote. All attacks on David Hume in recent years center on one footnote in one essay. Tell us about it.
It's the notorious racism footnote. And basically what he says is, it's in the context of an essay on national character, is that his own view is that black people are simply inferior to the whites. That's what he calls us, the whites. They have never accomplished anything in the past worth remembering. They are not likely to do so. Period, paragraph, end of story. He doesn't really say much more about it than that. It's a very short footnote.
It's a very short footnote, and it's an odd footnote as well, isn't it? Because it seems in so many ways to run against what he says everywhere else.
Well, it certainly flies in the face of his empiricism.
Yes.
Since there were few, if any, blacks that he was familiar with in Scotland.
Yes.
He had not traveled to Brazil or to the Caribbean, which is where most slaves from the West African coast ended up, or to the North American colonies either. So it's not at all clear where he might have gotten his ideas from.
And this is common at the time, isn't it? I mean, Rousseau has huge numbers of views about native peoples in other lands, most of them rather flattering, but never went further than Switzerland. I mean, how could somebody have a view, like Hume expresses in the notorious footnote, about something they didn't know about?
On that general point, what I would say is that they all read the travel literature. So,
right.
And so ever since Columbus, there had been a profusion of travel accounts by Westerners who had gone to the Caribbean islands after Columbus, or to the North American colonies, or to wherever it was that was now part of the sphere of interest of Europeans. The reason why you're absolutely right is that people had opinions about people that they knew nothing about directly. They were very often relying upon the accounts of other travelers. In many cases, especially for China, they were relying upon Jesuit accounts. Obviously, these accounts are of varying quality, varying reliability. But I've not seen anything indicating that Hume's view of blacks was based on... the thing about that footnote is it just appears dropped out of the sky.
Yes.
There's no context for it.
Yeah.
It's not a footnote that really elaborates in any meaningful way the flow of the text. He never, anywhere that I'm aware of, anywhere else in his writings, returns to the whole question of what we would call race. The idea of race is a 19th century idea, of course, and it hadn't really developed in anything like that form by his own time. But he did, however, continue to keep the footnote in later editions of that. And there is some talk, I don't know how accurate it is, that there were friends of his who were remonstrating with him to remove it, but he never did. And so it's a very curious performance, and what its purpose might be is impossible.
Of course. Yeah.
It's not, I guess what it comes down to, it's not clear whom he is trying to refute or whom he is trying to answer. He clearly, somebody had said the opposite, that someone had said to him at some point, no, black people are equal to white people. But who that is or what the context is completely mysterious.